Ladies and gentlemen, the House and Nancy Pelosi are going to investigate whether Trump lied to Mueller. This is hilarious. And they're going to try to tie that to impeachment. So this is a November 18, 2019 article that was linked to a recent article. House is investigating whether Trump lied to Mueller, its general counsel told a federal appeals court. House investigators are examining whether President Trump lied to former special counsel Robert S. Mueller III. The statement came during arguments over Congress's demand for the urgent release of secret grand jury evidence from Mueller's probe. Secret grand jury evidence. Nobody was indicted. So they want secret grand jury evidence to prove that Trump lied, even though there was nobody indicted for colluding with Russia. There were people indicted on process crimes that had nothing to do with Trump. Zero to do with Trump. The allegations were that Trump worked with Russia to interfere in the election. They haven't proven, first of all, they haven't proved how the Facebook ads swung voters in swing states. Clinton won the popular vote. So how does Russia interfere if Clinton wins the popular vote? They have two competing propaganda narratives. She won the popular vote. They say Russia interfered. They also say that Trump worked with Russia. Russia did not interfere, even if they hacked the DNC, which they have no evidence of because the ODNI and DHS reports are only confident, moderate to highly confident. They're not certain the DNC was even hacked by Russia. You can read the reports. I read them all the time on this channel. They are confident. They have high confidence assessments. They don't have certainty. John Brennan stated, I don't do evidence, I do intelligence. So that's where he's coming from. But nobody was indicted based on colluding with Russia. There was no evidence that Trump worked with Russia because the only evidence was fabricated. It was a Steele dossier purchased by Clinton. And Alexander Downer, an Australian ambassador, had hearsay and gossip that Comey, Strzok, McCabe, and Clapper and Brennan took seriously. Deliberately. Just like the deliberate 17 omissions of exculpatory evidence or deliberate falsification of statements. Falsified statements within the FISA applications. 17 examples. They call it inaccuracies and mistakes. These were deliberate attempts to deceive FISA judges, to get the ball rolling, to start investigating Carter Page, and then bring in Michael Flynn and Papadopoulos and everyone around Trump under this grandiose notion that they were so worried about national security. DNC emails have nothing to do with national security. The DNC is a private entity. Okay? But anyway, that's a whole other story. They want to tie in now because they realize they have nothing with the Ukraine call. They can't prove that he was afraid of Biden. They can't prove that he withheld military assistance, not to ensure that that people receive the money that shouldn't, not to ensure that corruption didn't enable people, oligarchs, government officials to pocket the money that we sent them. So the official excuse is, well, he withheld the money for the same reason that Biden forced a prosecutor out. Democrats say, well, Biden forced a prosecutor out. It was no problem. Well, he wasn't investigating corruption. Well, yeah, that prosecutor happened to be looking into the corporation funneling millions of dollars to Biden's son. Democrats and media believe Biden. Oh, well, he had no reason to fire the prosecutor other than, the good of the country. Well, it wasn't. Was it foreign policy? Did President Obama call for the firing of that prosecutor because Biden said, well, call Obama. He'll call the president. He'll back me up. But they believe Biden. They don't believe President Trump. They say in their minds, he withheld military assistance because he was afraid of the No Malarkey bus tour. He was afraid of Biden. Clinton's going to be nominee. This whole thing is a charade. Biden's not number one. He's only number one because he's the only possible feasible candidate. Trump withheld military assistance because of the corruption. He wanted to make sure and review that the assistance was going to the government, the Ukraine government, not to individuals. Okay, you can believe that or not believe that. It's the same reasoning that Biden uses to fire that prosecutor. So the quid pro quo actually is on Biden's end, but Democrats believe They believe his excuse. But here, the hearing followed Friday's conviction of longtime Trump friend Roger Stone for lying to Congress. Okay, testimony. So, did the president lie? Was the president not truthful in his response to the Mueller investigation? They're barking up the wrong tree because we just found out that there were 17 inaccuracies. The House is trying to determine whether the current president should remain in office. Yeah, this is something that is unbelievably serious. No, it's not. Everybody's laughing. Nobody cares. And it's happening right now very fast. Yeah, everything's happening very fast. So this is actually, it took me kind of almost 6 minutes to kind of explain. Okay, in court, he speaks for Nancy Pelosi. This is today. This is the Washington Post article on Douglas and Letter. So he is the chief legal counsel for Nancy Pelosi and House Democrats. In one room, Letter tried to persuade a judge to force President Trump's former White House counsel Don McGahn to testify before Congress. Okay, then he wants John Bolton. But here, it goes on, and I just kind of tried to give you the background story. And in back-to-back hearings, January 3rd, at a federal, this is, I guess, the beginning of what Letter, in January 3rd, 2020, Letter will explain to why the judges should be given House access to secret evidence. Pelosi demands secret evidence from special counsel Robert Mueller, the grand jury. His colleague will then ask the court to uphold a ruling forcing McCann to appear before a House committee. That's going to go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is going to strike it down. They're trying to relitigate the Mueller probe, which was a process, which was an exercise in the process of a special counsel. They got the balls rolling. The United States government was duped by people at the top of the food chain, the brass at the FBI and other intelligence organizations, to set up and frame Trump. Once they got the ball rolling, they indicted 30 plus people on process crimes. Nobody was indicted on any of the allegations. They found that there was no evidence. Now they want to go. They found there was no evidence that Trump worked with Russia. He never did. I wrote in the Federalist that James Clapper stated there was no evidence even before the special counsel started. Now they're going back because the articles of impeachment, now they're going to try to impeach Trump again. They might actually add something to do with Mueller in the second round of articles, in the second impeachment. So they're going to impeach him twice. And it's only going to help Trump. And it's why stop there, Nancy? Why don't you just impeach him 100,000 times? Impeach him twice a day, 3 times a day. Well, that wouldn't be 100,000, would it? Impeach him 10 times a day until the next election, and see what happens. Make sure never to give us the articles of impeachment. They still haven't given the articles of impeachment to McConnell. Because the case was so weak, this current one, they have to add the Mueller probe nonsense into it. See, Clinton has actual crimes. She used top secret intelligence. She transferred top secret intelligence and special access program intelligence on servers running outside the United States government. The same liberals and Democrats and media that revere government don't care when John Durham and William Barr are looking into all of these actual crimes. It was a crime to deceive FISA judges. It is a crime to lie under oath. Andrew McCabe 3 times with the intent to deceive. It is a crime from Kevin Kleinsmith to, if he was the one who deceived the FISA judges, he and others, to falsify 17 times information to deceive FISA judges. They're all for criminal activity of the Trump administration that has nothing to do with Trump. But they're not for prosecuting criminal activity meant to undermine Trump. But anyway, this is really interesting. So I guess what they're doing now is they are adding Mueller information, Mueller grand jury information. So it's technically secret evidence from the Mueller probe, which is the grand jury information, to try to say he lied to Mueller. That's going to be a failed strategy also. Everyone's forgotten about Mueller. Nobody cares about the Mueller probe anymore. It fizzled out, and it was a complete and utter failure and debacle and travesty. Every time the Democratic Party uses the levers of government against Trump, they sit upon these lofty ideals, like, even Chuck Todd's like, don't people care? Like, no, nobody cares. The media, the establishment, they care. They have to, because there's no substance there, so it doesn't resonate to the average American. Nobody cares about a phone call. Everybody knows that Trump never worked with Russia. So Democrats, again, are barking up the wrong tree. They're wasting their time. But they're probably going to impeach President Trump based on some fabricated, absurd notion that he lied to Mueller or something to do with Mueller. Because they almost certainly have to add the now failed and completely debunked Mueller saga into the next round of articles of impeachment. I do think that they're going to impeach Trump again, because the first round of impeachment didn't work. So now I guess they're going to try to say, well, we're going to impeach Trump yet again. And this time, if we withhold the articles of impeachment, at least it'll be another spectacle. Because they know they can impeach him a million times. The Senate's going to acquit and dismiss and acquit everything a million times. So they didn't get enough public relations benefit from all of this. But this is just hilarious. Oh my goodness, this is hilarious. So, and in back-to-back hearings on January 3rd, 2020, the House Chief Counsel will explain why judges should give the House access to secret evidence from Special Counsel Robert S. Mueller III's Russia investigation. This will go to the Supreme Court too, because Trump, if the judges, which they probably will, back Pelosi, if they don't, it'll be a monumental loss for House Democrats. But if they do back this, if the judges say, yeah, the House of Representatives, the congressional Democrats can get access to the secret grand jury evidence that can then be used to say that Trump lied to Mueller. Okay, he didn't lie to Mueller. There was nothing to lie about. He didn't work with Russia. So it's like the Mueller probe we're finding out from John Durham and William Barr should never have been started anyway. William Barr and John Durham both stated, John Durham stated, based on the evidence we found out from Italian intelligence officials, people in London, based on the evidence he found out from their investigation outside of the United States, the Mueller probe should never have been started. And they should never actually have started to investigate Trump even before the Mueller probe, when McCabe and Comey and Brent and Strzok began investigating. So the whole thing is coming crashing down. What they're doing is they're actually, they have nothing to work with. So they have to fabricate new things, and they have to continue to employ the fabricated nonsense of the Mueller probe and other ridiculous scandals. Here, why a reporter's notebook? Why is Pelosi holding the articles of impeachment? She's holding the articles of impeachment because it's not a strong enough case, and she knows that once it gets to the Senate, they're going to acquit Trump, and it's going to be a disaster, a public relations disaster. That's the issue. That's the issue. And they hide behind a fair trial. If he gets a fair trial, he'll get acquitted completely. A fair trial would show that Democrats have not proven he feared Biden and he tried to utilize American assistance to Ukraine. President Zelensky stated there was no pressure, and none of the impeachment witnesses have any information or evidence to back up the claim that he withheld military assistance. If anything, they actually each of them exonerate the president in their own way. Sondland said, "Oh yeah, well, the president actually told me he wants no quid pro quo." And then Bill Taylor said, "Yeah, he doesn't know. He never met the president. He never heard anything. He never read the transcripts." but he heard from somebody. And then Maria Ivanovich said, oh, yeah, the Obama administration gave me talking points about Hunter Biden. So, and then Dr. Fiona Hill stated, oh, yeah, what was it? Oh, the Ukraine picked the wrong side, essentially. So, I mean, there you go. Give me your thoughts below. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. I might go ahead right now. And on H.A. Goodman's other channel, check that out. Check out that channel. It's below in the pinned comment. I might go ahead and upload an old segment that I had. It's kind of like a little Christmas Bill of Rights present to my Second Amendment channel. I might upload a segment that I think I'll wait till tomorrow morning. I don't know. I have to think about it. But it's the 500, the Smith & Wesson 500 that I take out to the range, and it's pretty awesome. So check that out. That'll be on H.A. Goodman's other channel, either tonight or tomorrow. Thank you very much, everyone. Merry Christmas, and God bless.